Hello and welcome to today's episode of Authentic Achievements, where it's my very great privilege to be joined by the fabulous Prima Jope. Prima, welcome.
Thanks, Kim, for having me. I've been looking forward to this. How are you feeling? I know you went unwell the other time.
Yeah, thank you. I'm at the end of my second consecutive chest infection. They seem to be doing boomerang, and I really appreciate you being kind enough to let me reschedule so that I had a voice, so that I could actually share this. But I've been so excited. But before we get stuck in, let me share a little bit more about you with our audience. So Prima Jope is the creator of Clients on Fire and the 2K per day playbook. She's a business mentor who helps mission-driven entrepreneurs stop being the best kept secret and start signing high-value clients without pressure, chasing, or endless social media content. And you've gone on to build multiple six-figure businesses through simplicity and direct client acquisition. I mean, I don't even know where to start, Prima. There's so much I would like to ask you, but could you start by bringing to life your journey so far, please?
My journey is a book, so I'll try to give you like one page of it. I was born and raised in Uganda. This is Uganda, where I am right now. My dad gave me a code, and that code was go to school, get good grades, become a doctor, a lawyer, or engineer, find a good job, find a good man, have kids, raise your kids, and that is success. And I was like, okay, Dad. And I started school, and I was like, I don't know if this is what I want. But my dad was some person who, if he says something, he doesn't like to be challenged unless you've lived that experience. So my dad warned us against giving advice without experience. So I was like, how do I tell my dad that I don't want this path? Because I was like, I don't want this path. I don't want to climb the corporate ladder. And then I don't want to get married and have, like, I didn't want the code, but I didn't know better. So I went to school, faithfully graduated, even got an MBA. And one day, I remember I turned 25 or something. And I was like, Prima, whose life are you living? Who said this was success? I didn't feel successful. I didn't feel like I was on the right path. I felt like there was something inside me, which was like a calling for more, a calling to go out there and serve. I felt like I had more in me than go get a job, then get married. And I was like, how do I start? I looked around, and in Uganda, no one was doing something like that. I said, how can I be trying to do something no one has done? I was very sure my dad would chop off my head. I started to look on YouTube. I saw Tony Robbins. I saw Oppressed, but these people are doing this thing. Why can't I do this thing? But then I looked around. I saw starving people. People had no water. And I said, Prima, you are in Uganda. Like, what are you even trying to do? And I was like, the thing inside me was like louder than my willingness not to do it. So I got somehow the courage to start my own business. I didn't tell my dad. 2 years later, my dad passed on, and he knew that I was employed in a $3 billion company and getting a paycheck. The truth is, I had a boutique, and I was dressing men, and I was making the money off that, and I never told Dad, because somehow I never mastered the courage to tell him, Dad, I don't want this definition of success. But somehow I parked the car and brought Christmas gifts and wasn't struggling. So he didn't think about where's the money coming. I guess a dollar is a dollar, and it doesn't get black because you're not making it corporate America. So anyhow, I start the business journey in 2020. My business shuts down. COVID comes and it sweeps me off. I was doing boutique business like fashion, and I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? The internet here is super expensive and not there. You could pay $300 a month for this internet here, and don't be surprised if it starts breaking. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? There's always something inside me that does not allow me to just stop. And so I found myself online. And when I say best kept secret, I think that was me. A trophy that says best kept secret, good luck with your endeavors. I went on the internet. And I recall one I convinced someone to buy my offer. He was in, I think, Australia. I sent him a link to pay, and the bank flagged it instantly. There's a fraudulent from Uganda trying to steal the money. And I was like, no. I started to understand how business works. People started to say, we will pay you, but then I can't receive PayPal. So I had to send them a link, and every bank in Europe would flag it like fraud, 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 fraud. I think the only thing they understood is Nigeria and fraud, and no one thought that there would be a genuine business in Uganda. So I struggled because I couldn't collect money. So I stay in that state for like a year, and finally I figure out how to get in Stripe and how to get to collect payments. And my journey for stopping to be a best kept secret was so rough. So rough. It's already hard enough to get trust in the marketplace. Now you add on where you come from, and banks are like fraud, 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 fraud. It was so hard that when I finally figured out how to get a client in the door, I decided that I didn't want anyone with a calling to not figure out how to share their message, how to get paid. And every day when I wake up, Kim, I am just thinking, how do we simplify the process of getting clients? How do we get people out of their skins into serving? And how do we get them quicker to the client so they stay long enough to actually leave their impact? Because a lot of people come online, they have the calling, and when 1 year later, they can't figure out clients and they're gone.
Yeah.
So every day when I wake up, I'm thinking, how do we get a client in the door? Because when people are signing, you will figure out the other stuff. But when no one is signing, 1 year later, your husband gets louder and your dad gets louder, and I don't know, your dog gets louder, and everyone says, Prima, quit. So that's my mission, Kim, to make sure that whoever has a message gets out there, shares the message, gets hired, and when they die knowing that they left a footprint behind. That's really my mission in summary.
Oh, I love that. So forgive me, the dog's joining in. Dog loves it as well. Because I think I love that actually the thing inside of you was too great to ignore. And I think, the entrepreneurial journey isn't an easy one, is it? It's not for the faint-hearted. We have and if we don't have something in us that is bigger than all of the challenges and obstacles that there are in building that entrepreneurial journey, we will give up, won't we? We won't get through. We won't make it. And I think once you have got that mission, that mission to leave. I mean, for me, mine's to leave things better than I found them. To make sure that you leave people feeling that there was a benefit from that interaction, that they feel better as a result of it, and not doing that would be awful. I can't imagine not doing that, and so you get driven. But I mean, you had so many additional challenges. If you think about obviously being from Uganda and the challenges that you've got with people therefore having a connection. Of fraud. That, I mean, I think everybody's entrepreneurial journey is unique, but you had so many challenges, and I love that what you've done is take those and turn them into lessons that you can now share with other people, so that they can get over the hurdle faster because you've done it for them already. And I think I would love, I mean, there's so many bits I would love to delve into, but can you start by telling me a bit more about the 2K playbook? Because I think that will be really interesting. And that sounds like that's the culmination of the journey you've gone to here.
So the 2K playbook is basically, if you were in a place where you're like, God, why did you send me here if you weren't going to give me the ability to get clients? Because the hardest bit in business is not the desire to serve. It's not even the skill for most people. It is that calling inside you that is saying, wake up. Why haven't you shared your message? And you going online and seeing people very skeptical and not being able to sign a client and going, I have a message which can change someone's life. Why is it so hard to get people to sign? It becomes even harder sometimes to get people to take your free thing. I know someone who's struggling to share a free book with people. And it's like, Prima, what am I missing here? How can I hand the world gold? And they said no. So the 2K playbook is, if you're in this state of saying God, divine, mother, nature, whichever it is you believe in, like, why am I not able to get clients? It's like, let's get you back in the game. Let's give you 7 days to get a client in the door. Because when clients are coming in, the rest can be fixed. The rest will be easier. The problem is when no one is coming in, then who knows what sound is in your head? Who knows what's happening in your head saying you can't do this, you're not good enough, you're not worthy. All those things get louder and louder and louder. But even if your head is telling you you're not good enough and the clients are coming, then you somehow can stay. So the 2K playbook is, how do we get a client in the door in 7 days? Literally 7 days. The first thing is, first of all, what problem are we solving? A lot of people solve nice to have problems. I call them like vitamins. We all know we need the vitamin. We all know we could be using more vitamins. I, Prima, don't know what a vitamin looks like. And I know the importance of vitamins and I should be taking them and I ought to take them someday, but I, Prima, don't know. I only see when my husband buys them, because being from UK, his immunity needs to be boosted here. But as me, Prima, I have never bought a vitamin. I do not know what it looks like. But I know that they are good for me. One day I'll buy them, but right now I'm not buying them. So when I go to the marketplace, I find that people are paying for house on fire problems. If I somehow went back home and my house was on fire for whatever reason, in that moment, everything stops and I deal with the house on fire. That's really the scenario. So if you go in the market and you're giving people vitamins, they'll go, oh, she's nice, she has a nice product, but yeah, I'll get to it. And they don't buy, and you have an audience full of maybes. Oh, Prima, I have to first take my kids to school. Oh, you know what, Prima, I have to first go through this divorce thing. You know what, Prima, next year or someday. So what I like to do is, let's first shorten what problem are we solving? Let's first solve that problem. Because if we are solving a nice to have, I can guarantee you will struggle. If we're solving a house on fire, people will stop. Once people stop, now we have their attention, we are in business. And as we help them with the house on fire, we'll get to the vitamins. But until we get them to stop, we have no business. So the first thing, Kim, is, what is your house on fire solution? What is the house on fire problem? And where are those people whose houses are on fire? Because those people are paying money. Where are those people? Have a bleeding head, because those people are paying a doctor. Where are the women who are pregnant and it's Labor Day? Those women are paying a doctor. So this is the kind of way that you get into the market to get people's attention. Once you reach in the market, your job is to identify the buyer. There is 3 types of buyer, and they are all hidden, and you have to have the eyes to see them. You have the now buyer who is like, my house is on fire, help, 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 help. Everyone is looking for that one because they talk, they scream, they ask for help. But there's also 2 other types of buyers. We have fencers. I've been burnt, they're I bought that over there and it was a bad idea. I won't be buying anything else. And they have all this on the fence and they're looking at you, waiting for you to say, do the right thing. And what most people don't do is they don't have eyes for the fencer. They just keep talking to the now buyer, who is like 1% of the market. So what we do is we get to a place where we give you eyes for, like, what do the fencers need? Well, they need proof that your stuff works. Well, they need an offer that speaks to them. Well, they need an invitation. They need you to call them out. If you never send offers to your audience, a person on the fence, you'll never see them. If you never have like case studies, people that have gone through your work, at first I will not buy because they're like, I bought that, I think it was a bad idea. I am not buying from this person. And then the third one is the looker. People in the market, they know they have a problem and they're like, should I go with this person or that person or that person or that person? And they're just doing the investigation. They're just weighing you up and down and going, yeah, it's a Prima or is it the other person? Like, who should I buy from? If you go on the internet and you do what the gurus teach, I don't consider myself a guru, and you post value, you give everything away for free, and you're a nice person, I can almost guarantee you they won't be coming because they are looking for the right offer for them from someone whose philosophy makes sense. So if you're in the marketplace and you don't have a philosophy and you don't have like the ability to say, this is an offer, I have 3 slots and I close in 24 hours, these people will not jump. There's people who literally need a little bit of like the fencers, they need a little bit of a push, which is this offer expires in 24 hours and I'm taking 3 people. They need that. And a lot of people, what they do in the marketplace is they have fake scarcity and fake urgency. They're always open. Every day you come, you can buy the offer. Even though I say the offer is ending tonight, you can buy it a week later because I want the revenue. A lot of people have fake scarcity, fake agency. They're always open. And what that does is it trains people to not respect boundaries. You say the thing ending next week, and you're like, yeah, I'll buy it 3 weeks later. I'll buy next year. So what these buyers need, whether it's the now buyer can buy. But what about the looker and the fence? The person on the fence needs to know this is the offer I'm looking for. There's 3 people that are being taken to this offer, and there's a deadline. So I have to make a decision. Am I buying or am I not buying? Because the thing is going away. So am I buying or am I not buying? You have to make that decision. The looker has to do the same. There's this thing over here. I really want to buy the thing. I do not know if I'm ready, but it goes away in 72 hours. So if you don't normalize making offers and you don't understand how to create real scarcity, real urgency, and you don't get yourself to solve a house on fire problem, you'll be in the market, you will be giving a lot of value and people won't buy, and you will go, God, why? I've given out everything. I have that thing. It's amazing. I give away incredible stuff. I can change people's lives, but no one is buying. I don't know how to market. Maybe you know how to market, but you don't know how to simplify this in a way that people buy. Maybe you don't know how to see buyers. And there's a lot of people in the marketplace, Kim, who are spending time with leads. A lead is someone who is maybe interested and they could buy now or they could buy in 10 years. Okay. What I like to tell my clients is focus on buyers. And how do you know I'm a buyer? You've put out your house on fire philosophy. I've given you an email. You've given me an offer to buy and I've bought the offer. It can't be $20. Spending time with people who've given you $1 or $20 is 100 times better than spending time with people who've given you nothing. Because these are like maybe buyers. You have 50,000 people email list, but no one is buying. Why? Because you're spending a lot of time with leads instead of spending a lot of time with buyers. So what I take people through is, how do you know who the buyers are? How do you identify them? How do you activate them? How do you get them into your world? Then the last step is really knowing how to invite buyers into your world, into your offers. A lot of my people, they go on the internet, they post and wait. They send an email and wait. They don't know how to invite people without feeling pushy, salesy, or spammy. So what they do is they post and they are nice people because they are really driven by the desire to serve. And Kim, people sit down for a year waiting for someone to send them a message. And unfortunately, I wish that the market could see your heart. I wish that they could. It's not easy. People will not see your heart. You have to know how to invite people into what you do. Even if you have the purest heart. You have to understand, like, how do I extend an invitation in a way that is friendly, in a way that is exclusive, in a way that is intimate, that people will feel lucky working with me, instead of post and wait, which everyone does, which ends up locking you in best kept secret syndrome, and you end up saying online stuff, social media, you name it, doesn't work. Truth is, it works. I'm proof of it, and it's possible for you if you're open to how it's done. That's the 2K system.
Amazing. I love that, because I think we can get lost, can't we, in that constant content creation and and like you say, we can get stuck in our own head. What do we tell us? We're giving away stuff for free and people don't want it, and then we start our own inward downward spiral, don't we, where we are actually our biggest saboteur, because we start to, we know that our brains are a bit like sat nav. What we tell it is where it drives us. So if we start focusing on all the negatives, then actually that is going to be what becomes our reality, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's amazing how many people come to me and they're like, people are not buying, and I'm like, what do you mean they're not buying? Like, what? Give me more. They didn't buy. I'm like, wait, give me the whole thing. I give them a system. I go, I want you to track for me the people that you've sent an offer to, the people that you've had conversations with, and I want you to fill these columns. Did you actually ask them if they wanted help? Did you actually send an offer? Did they say yes to the offer and ghosted you? At what point did they ghost you? Was it before the link, after the link? They submit, they're not interested. I'm like, hey, let's study the data. So someone says, you end up seeing that no one has said, give me the thing, which means we need to fix your message. If people are not saying, I want to work with you, or we need to fix the message. If people are not giving you an email, we need to fix your house on fire big idea. Like, what's your idea? If someone's house is on fire, they'll give you an email. If someone is not giving you an email, you're not hitting their house on fire. We go forward. They said, send me an offer. Okay, Prima. Then what happened? They ghosted me. So they ghosted you after you sending them the details. Okay. In that case, let's simplify. What gets done? What doesn't get done? How do you support me? How long is the thing? Like, let's get clear. If you send them the offer and they say, send me the payment link, and they ghost you after that, that's a different interpretation. Did you have a deadline? Did you have scarcity? Did you make it okay for them to come back and say, no, I don't want the offer? Or do they think that they will be rude coming back and telling you why they're not buying? If they said no, is it a no forever? Or is it a no right now, Prima? And you can say, no problem, Kim. I have a wait list opening in May and one in July. Would any of those be okay with you? Would it be a better time? Maybe she's going through something and she can't buy right now, but she can buy in 5 months. So instead of saying, okay, Kim, goodbye, and then you start wondering, oh, should I send Kim this thing or not? Ask Kim, like, Kim, is this like, no, you don't want this thing? Or is it something that you'd like to do in the future? I have a wait list in this month, and I'm happy to add you on any of the wait lists. And Kim will say, yeah, Prima, I would definitely do this if it was in May or sometime. And you're like, cool. Now you have Kim on the wait list.
Yeah.
Come May, now you can say, hey, Kim, I've opened this thing up. Let me know if I can send the details. People have a way of wrapping up everything into they're not buying. They're not buying is not helpful. It's no. Like, you need to track the data and go back to why they are not buying and simplify things and point at something so that you can allow people to buy. People want to buy, they just don't want to make the wrong choice.
Yeah. I love that. And it's all about asking them more questions, isn't it? I think we often can get ourselves into that rabbit warren of assumption. So we assume we know why the person's not doing what we expected them to do, but we've not asked any questions, and we've not been curious with them around, what does a good outcome look like for you today? What is the thing that you're really looking for, and therefore how can I tailor what I'm doing to help you meet that need, to help you to have that. And if that need is it's not right now, to your point, how do we make it easy for that conversation to continue to a point where it is the right time. And I love also that you're so clear on the how we simplify it for people. How do we make it easy for people to be served by us? Because I think when we are in these kind of industries, we are driven by that desire to serve, by the desire to help somebody else to achieve whatever it is that they're wanting to achieve. But we have to make that easy for them to be helped, don't we? Easy for them to understand, because I think that's often, to your point, people can be put off because they've tried something before and been let down. They can be put off because it might be a biggish investment, and therefore they want to make sure that they're making a wise choice with that, or it could just be that they have some unanswered questions. And we don't like to make decisions when we don't feel like we have enough information to make those decisions. So I think your points around making sure that it's really clear on things like, what will happen to me when I buy this product? What will that look like? For how long will that look? What can I expect as a result of it? Really is going to help them to be able to make a buying decision. Rather than that awful piece nobody wants to be sold to, but people do want to buy, don't they? And I think sometimes we get ourselves lost in that equation.
Yeah, people want to buy, but a lot of people are not clear. Like, you're not as clear as you think. And you can always simplify, you can always clarify. Clear is very kind for the person who is trying to spend money with you, because you have no idea what their journey is. You have no idea what bad decisions they've made. You have no idea what their levels of confidence is around themselves. And so the kindest thing you can do for them is be clear, have a clear path, and have a clear offer that calls a specific person. And I think the biggest problem that most people have is they keep fixing the wrong thing. So I have a lot of people who have a message that is not clear, and they are going on another podcast. And I'm like, but why are you going on another podcast if we have a message problem? What difference will your message be in front of 1 million people if it's not clear? We have people who have a sales problem. They don't know how to convert people, and their solution is, well, I will get more traffic. Well, you can get more traffic, but what importance is traffic if you can't convert them? What importance is traffic if you don't have a journey that people go through? What important is traffic if, like, a lot of people focus on the wrong thing in the wrong, like, it's the right thing, but it's not the thing for now. So I like to say, stop doing the right things in the wrong order, because that can keep you really stuck for a very long time. There's people who wake up every day and a message, and they go, but what data do we have to say that the message is a problem? And they can't tell you. They're like, it's just not landing. I'm like, not landing for who? How do you know that? And every day they wake up and they're like, oh, I need to change my angle. And then I'm like, stop changing nothing. Let's find data. Let's find what's broken and let's fix that. Because the worst thing you can do for yourself is sit and start fixing things that are not broken. And most people spend time there in that loop of trying to fix and fix and fix, and you can never finish fixing. I wanted to say that. Stop doing the right things in the wrong order and stop fixing things that are not broken. The less things you touch, the better. Get clear on your offer. Who do you serve? What's the thing that you're doing for them? Is it house on fire enough? Is that something they need right now? And why is your philosophy different? Because if it's not different, then you look like 1 million other people on the internet. When that's there, make sure you have an offer that you've sent to 3 people that is validated. You don't need thousands of people. Just get it in front of 3 people who can buy. Now you have a validated offer. After that, do you have a way that you can turn people who come into your world into clients? Not everyone, but the right people. Like, if someone came in your world today, do you have a path which is hands off, which they can take to become a client? Or do you have to talk to everyone in your world before they become a client? Do you have a path? Is there a path for me to walk myself and say, yeah, Prima, I want that thing. Give me that thing. I am a buyer. Can I land myself on your table or not? Most people don't have that. Then worry about traffic, because a lot of people are worried about traffic and they don't have a traffic problem. So it's solving the wrong things.
I love that.
That is broken, and fix that part.
It's such great advice, isn't it? To just look at, and we do so often go and fix the things that aren't broken, or tinker with them. Keep distracting ourselves with those. Prima, I could chat to you all day, but I'm conscious we're almost out of time, and I've still got so much to ask. But you've already shared so much great stuff. But could I ask you, if you had to go back and give your younger self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Spend more time with buyers.
Leave
leads alone. Leave leads alone. Focus on someone who has demonstrated that they're a buyer because they've invested $1 with you. That person wants help. That person is open for help. That person is willing to pay for help. Leave the leads alone. Stop labeling people as leads just because they had a nice conversation with you. Prima, stop. They are not leads. They're just nice people on the internet.
Yeah. I love that. And so before we go, can you share with the audience who you help and how they can get in touch with you?
Best kept secrets. You're an expert. You work and change lives, but beyond referral business, you're not known. And you desire to change that. You desire to get out there. You desire to know more people. You desire to get on the internet and take people from strangers to clients because you want to transform as many lives as possible. And you're just done being a secret. You're like, you know what, Prima, I am just ready. I am done. I'm just ready. Like, let's share this message. Let's go out there. I do mentorship, but I also have a podcast where you can come and share your message. So if that's you, I have a community-owned school. Do join. But you can also just request to have the 2K client system, which is found at the 2kclientsystem.com, where we can show you exactly how to get your client in 7 days. I have a book called The Clients on Fire. And clients on fire are clients who are like, full body, yes, I want to solve my problem. I'm here. When your house is on fire, or when you're in labor, and the doctor is saying, come this way. Do you want to come this way? It's like, full body, yes, please. I want to solve this problem more than you want to sell to me. So please take my money quick and take the problem away. Those are clients on fire. They want to solve their problem more than you want to sell to them. If you want to attract those people, I have written a booklet, and hopefully we can link it in the show notes. It's about $9 or something, but hopefully we can figure out a code for Kim's people and we can have it for free.
Oh, that would be amazing. And all the details, Prima, of how people can get in touch with you will be in the show notes below. So if you weren't able to quickly write all of that down, then please don't worry, just look below and all of those details will be available for you. Prima, it's been an absolute joy. Thank you so very much for coming on and sharing your journey and your lessons to help other people that want to move away from being a best kept secret and want to start making an impact.
It is my pleasure, Kim, and my last words would be, you have the calling inside you because somebody is on their knees praying for that solution, which can only be provided by you, your experiences, what you've gone through. The journey doesn't have to be simple, but the only reason that you have that calling inside you is there is someone praying, crying on their knees saying, God, give me some answers. But those people will not find you if you stay a secret. So I want to challenge you to get out there and share your message, because it really does not serve anybody that you stay a secret. There's no trophy for that. So please, it's my plea for you to get out there and start sharing your message. And if you don't know how, there's help.
I love that. Thank you so very much, Prima. And to everybody listening and watching, I hope you have also found today to be insightful, inspiring, and action orientated. And until next time, take care.